The opinions expressed in the following paid program do not necessarily represent those of WJZ AM 1300, CBS Radio, its employees and sponsors.
This is Minor Consulting Terp Talk. 60 minutes of Maryland Terrapins news and commentary and your phone calls at 866-950-5225. Now from the CBS Radio studios in Baltimore, here are the hosts of Terp Talk, Bruce Posner and Wayne Viner.
Off the show by saying this. I still believe in Mark Turgeon. I still believe he's got the opportunity to get the job done. However, the loss of Seth Allen is brutal. Seth Allen was a guy who won games for Maryland. He certainly would have been a starter. He would have played a lot of minutes. It's mind-boggling. It makes no sense. I hear about the point guard in the NBA and all that stuff. He's got to sit out a year. He doesn't, I don't know where he's going to go, but you don't know what his future is going to be. But this is a loss that really stings Mark Turgeon, and rightfully so. He took the blame for it.
Well, taking the blame in the sense that the kid left, he liked the kid, he liked the kid's family.
No, in the Sun paper this morning, he says, I take total blame for the departure. You don't lose four guys and say, it can't be me, Turgeon said. This is new territory for me. This has never happened during his career as a head coach.
How many guys have had four players, or in this case, and possibly a fifth, how many guys have had four players transfer in 1 year?
Yeah, but on the other hand, you have, Cal Perry, was losing 4 or 5 guys a year.
To the NBA.
Wait a minute. You still have to start over. In other words, college basketball isn't a lifetime contract. Guys leave. They usually are supposed to leave after 4 years, but with 400 transfers out there without jobs, that's not really the case anymore. Let's get our expert in on this because he's a good friend and he's been way on top of this story. And that, of course, is Scott Green from Rivals.com. Scott, welcome in this morning.
Hey, Bruce. How you doing? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I've been doing better. This was not a great day yesterday, but I mean, we're healthy, we're fine, so that's cool. But Scott, why don't you do this? All right, tell us about the way this story developed, because it wasn't a story that was brewing on your site, Rivals.com, of course. It wasn't brewing, and then all of a sudden, was it Sunday, or when did it start, and how did it mushroom?
I mean, basically, I first started hearing stuff, I want to say maybe, it wasn't that early, I want to say maybe Monday or Tuesday morning. I had gotten a few text messages, saw a few when I woke up. Frankly, didn't think too much of it. Started looking into it a little bit, but then, obviously, Alex Klein, who has the Recruits Group site, he's actually a good friend, know him personally, had this tweet about how Seth had asked for his release. So obviously the first thing I did was kind of give Alex a call, talk to him, see who he had spoken with, what he knew, then started talking to some more people, around the program, close to the program, and, it just became pretty apparent pretty early on that, at that point, he had let Turgeon know that, he wanted his release, and at that point, it didn't seem like there was much of a chance to get, turn things around and get him to stay.
Why? You're around the team every day during the season. Did you ever see any acrimony between Seth Allen and Turgeon? That's not the normal give and take a coach and a player have.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that's why it was kind of shocking to me. I mean, Seth Allen was Turgeon's first recruit at Maryland. He took a chance on a kid that, wasn't getting a lot of offers, a lot of looks from a lot of big-time programs. And he turned out, from a talent standpoint, that a lot of things he said he'd be able to do at that level he was actually able to do. So, I mean, no, I didn't see much, in interviews and things like that. He always seems like a good kid, a happy kid. Turgeon maybe once or twice during the season said he might have done a thing or two he wasn't happy with, but it never seemed like it was to a point where there was so much friction where someone would just want out. And, then there's also the fact that, a lot of people have brought this up, and I think this also might have played a part in it, but just the fact that he was so close, with Nick Faust, had just been granted his release and decided to transfer. And, the bottom line is when you go 17 and 15, things aren't going great and stuff's going to happen and changes are going to happen. And, I think they just kind of decided they needed a change.
Well, this certainly is a change, but I can't see particularly how this benefits either one of them at the moment. Have you heard anything about, since Seth is gone, there's nothing we can do about it, who Maryland is looking at to come in to be an additional guard? Because we certainly are a little bit thin in the backcourt.
Yeah, as far as, going forward, obviously at this point, the keys are pretty much going to be handed to Melo Trimble, and he's got to be the guy. And, the one good thing about that is, I've seen him play a ton of times, spoken with him a number of times, is he's a kid that is ready for it. He is rock solid. He's steady. You just feel like he's a kid that was, meant for this. And I think he'll be able to handle it, taking over. But like you said, regardless, you need a backup point guard. So at this point, they got to start looking at some grad transfers. As far as freshmen, I really don't think you're going to find much at this point. But, the one name that's been mentioned a lot is Ian Childs, leading scorer from IUPUI. He's a good player. He's a guy that can create his own shot, get to the basket with both hands. Not a great shooter, but, basically that's what you're looking for, someone that can create and create for others. I tried reaching out to him a couple weeks ago, and he didn't seem to want to speak at the time, so I'm really not sure where things stand there, but I know he's the one guy that's, really been mentioned.
Can you speculate why Seth might have left? Let's move on from the Nick Faust thing. It had to be deeper than that. What was wrong? There's been some speculation about he wanted to be the point guard and he knew he wasn't going to be, but I am just totally befuddled about why he left. And so is Turgeon, I think.
Right. And I'll say this. The only time I'd ever heard anything is someone had mentioned to me towards the end of the season that, because, when all the speculation began about the guys that were going to transfer, the one guy who hasn't transferred yet that I had been hearing, from just about everyone the first time around was Charles Mitchell. Of course, there's been speculation again about it, but I had one or two people say that, they had heard Seth wasn't necessarily that happy and it could be a possibility. But honestly, every single person I've talked to, and I think outside of Seth himself, I haven't had a single person that's really been able to give me, what I think is a good answer as to why he would want to transfer. Because just like you guys, he was, looking to have a bigger role. He was already the team's second leading scorer. He had a chance to do things next year at Maryland that, I'm not sure he's going to be able to do anywhere else. So I don't know. It really doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me when you kind of take a step back and look at the big picture.
Now, from what I understand, Maryland, again, we're talking with Scott Green from Rivals.com. From what I understand, Maryland limited him out of the Big Ten. Is that correct?
Yeah. I don't think there's any way to allow him to transfer there. The one school, and I haven't had a chance to look into this yet, that I've heard from a few people and makes a whole lot of sense would be UVA. But I'm not sure if you would allow that or not just because of the fact that you have UVA on the schedule next year. But then again, he will have to sit out a year. So, my guess is UVA will be in play. And if that's the case, I wouldn't be shocked to see him end up there.
That's right. See, everybody forgets he's got to sit out a year, and it's not always successful when they sit out a year. It really isn't. There's the Byron Newton story, but there's a lot of them that just, you kind of get lost sometimes. And you're
right.
Usually a role player. It's unusual to be the guy, Wayne.
Well, you look at a guy like Maurice Creek, who was a big recruit for Indiana a couple of years ago, and when he decided to leave Indiana, he ended up having to go to GW instead of being able to stay at the Indiana level.
He did well at GW, though.
Oh, he did great. And they had a couple guys who came in and played there but they didn't get to transfer and be a star at the same level where they left. And that's in Creek's
case, though, he was coming off a major injury. But That's the other thing, too, is coaches are probably going to take a look at that and see that, Seth missed 2 games as a freshman, missed 12 games last year. I mean, that's something you got to factor in as well.
Yeah, well, look, Payshawn went to USC and midway through the season got injured and didn't play much from then on. Now, I don't know if you read Turgeon's comments or you've heard him, but he really did say that he's got to take a look. What is it that he has done? I mean, I see a guy that works himself to death, that does everything in his power. It gives everybody a chance to play. Sometimes, where the fans and myself and you and everybody questions it, I can't see a coach that could be more fair to players than Turgeon.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, one thing you notice from day one with him is, I mean, he works his butt off. I mean, he's always out recruiting. He's always, at a function, to try and promote the program. And he's always doing something to help better the program. That said, I don't know. I can't put a finger on it. I mean, the one thing is, you hear this from a lot of people is, and, you see this too, and I mean, I'm sure you guys have seen it as well, but I feel like with a lot of the guys, and especially a lot of these guys that are leaving, is you just kind of didn't see that killer instinct or maybe that desire to win that you want to see in some guys. Guys you'd see them in the post game after a big loss, and they'd be smiling and seem happy. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but after a big loss, I'd be PO'd. I wouldn't be happy. So I almost feel like maybe it was just the mentality of some of the guys. And, as a coach, you can try and work on that, but, someone is the way they are. You can't really necessarily change that. And, I feel like from that standpoint, maybe it's a good thing. Maybe you want to get rid of some of those guys that might not be as invested as you want them to be and, just kind of ride with the guys that are.
Is that something this is somebody you're talking about who recruited Seth Allen for a long time. He recruited him for Texas A&M before he came to Maryland. Is that type of killer attitude something that should possibly be evident before they get to College Park?
I mean, I guess you'd hope so. But then again, I mean, you also want to look for character and things like that. So, I almost feel like sometimes it's a double-edged sword. You can only get to know the kids so well. I mean, you want to make sure you're bringing in a good kid, a kid that's not going to disrupt things. But then you also want to make sure he's a good kid that, really has that killer instinct and that winning attitude. And, you want to get it right all the time, but it's really not that easy.
No, it's not. And, it's sometimes you miss. I mean, Shaq Clear was a top 50, I do believe. And, I don't want to criticize him, but did he ever play like a top 50 player ever?
He's also supposed to be 7 feet tall.
He shrunk.
Tall to you?
He shrunk. Yeah. Scott, I'm telling you, this guy started off being 6'11 and a half. And by the time he got to Maryland, I'm not sure he was 6'6".
Hey, well, I will assure you guys this. Trayvon Reed is a legitimate 7'1". I can vouch for that. What
do you hear about Mikhail Sikovsky? Is he signing his letter of intent?
I actually looked into that a little bit this week. The one thing I've heard is, obviously him being from overseas, it's not just as easy as signing it and being done. There are issues with, visas, things like that. And from what I've heard is, it sounds like they're just kind of working on the visas and whatnot, and they're still expecting it to happen sometime in the next couple of weeks. They just have to make sure all the T's are crossed and I's are dotted, just because of the fact that he's an international player that's coming from overseas.
Hey, Scott, you got 400 college transfers out there, and I know most of them would have to sit out a year. But at this point, I don't think Turgeon has that luxury of not trying to get one or two of them. Is there a transfer that he's looking at that, maybe not a graduate besides, is Ian Charles, he's a graduate, right? He could play right away. Yeah,
he'd be eligible immediately. So, like I said, just from a standpoint of his skill set and what he would bring, I think he's exactly, he kind of actually plays a lot like a Seth Allen. So, from that standpoint, he'd be a guy you could possibly bring in and bring a lot of the same skill set and, be able to replace a lot of that. So, from that standpoint, I think someone like him would be perfect. As far as other guys, not even guys that have necessarily been mentioned, but I can't think of the name off the top of his head, but, I believe the point guard from BYU is still available. He's a pretty good player. There are a handful of guys that are fifth-year guys that could come in and contribute right away.
This switching of schools is becoming a trend. I know Jay Billis talked about it yesterday. It's not, well, it might have been accentuated at Maryland, but it's not just at Maryland. These kids started with high school. They pick the high school they want to go to, and they change every year. Then they change their AAU teams. So I don't know what people thought, that this wouldn't eventually come down to the college ranks.
Yeah, I mean, it's gotten pretty insane. And then you also have the other aspect of, all these guys are reclassifying. So you've got guys coming in now as freshmen that are 20-plus years old, and at that point they've already been to 3 or 4 schools. So you're right. It's exactly like you said. I mean, at that point, they don't care if they're changing schools again. It's something they've done so many times anyways. At that point, it's not a big deal.
Hey, well, I'm looking at the 2014 transfer list, and there's now more than 400 kids on the list. So I think we're around 450, and we'll get that address up on the TerpTalk.com website in the little Twitter box there. But, there's a lot of guards out here, and, this happens to everybody, and we can go through all that. What is the key, do you think, to keeping the team together, keeping this group together?
Here's the question. What does Turgeon have to do? He said he's going to have to study things. He's close with the families. He treats the kids like royalty. What does he have to change? I don't know what he can do.
Well, that's just it. I mean, kind of like I was saying earlier, I'm not sure at this point there's anything he can do. I think it's got to be a player from within the team. I think a Dez or someone like that, it just needs to step up and say, this is my team. You guys are going to do exactly what I say. This is how things are going to go, and we're going to go out there and we're going to make the tournament. I mean, obviously you want the coach, doing and saying things and helping, but I almost feel like at this point it's got to come from one of the players or a couple of the players. But, you've actually got some seniors this year. You've got Dez, you've got Evan, and you need these guys to just step up and say, this is my team. This is what you guys are going to do. We're going to go out there and we're going to make the tournament.
Okay, that makes perfect sense to me because I'm a longtime Caps fan, and for a long time the knock on the Caps was the toughest guy on the team was the coach, and it never works that way. It's got to be one of the players. So if it's an attitude problem about wanting to win right now and having that desperation to win the game when you're in the game, yeah, that's got to come from the players. But this is an upsetting situation no matter how you cut it.
No matter how you look at it. Scott, thanks a lot for checking in. We're glad we got your expertise, and we'll see you at College Park. You going to the lacrosse game today?
I'm going to try and make it out there. I think the game starts at, I want to say 1 o'clock, right?
Is it 1 o'clock? It's not 12? 1 o'clock. Okay, good. All right, yeah, well, I'll see you out there then. All right, looking forward to the game.
All right, see you guys then.
All right, take care.
All
right, this is Bruce Posner. You're listening to Viner Consulting Terp Talk, and Wayne will tell us about Viner Consulting. And the website is, the readership is way up. You've done miracles with the site. Great job, and tell us about Viner.
Well, Bruce, you always point out that if your business is lagging and you're not getting it done on the internet and your customers are having a hard time finding you, or they're finding your competition on the internet and not coming back to you, you need to do something about it. Viner Consulting is a team that can make your website pop and sizzle and do a lot of the things we've done for Terp Talk, make it better, more accessible, and more popular with your customers.
And
I'm missing the and.
This is Wayne Viner. This is Bruce Posner. We're heading out to our first break here on CBS Sports Radio 1580. We are pleased to welcome Kelly & Associates Insurance Group to the Terp Talk family. For more than 35 years, Kelly & Associates Insurance Group has been known as the region's premier group insurance administrator, broker, and consultant specializing in healthcare. Kelly is also able to provide your organization with an integrated payroll solution through KTBS Payroll. The leader in benefits is now the leader in payroll, too. To learn more about how Kelly and KTBS Payroll can provide provide your organization with a total benefits solution, contact them today at 800-972-7227. Kelly, one of the most trusted names in benefits, now offers payroll. KTBS Payroll provides a payroll solution that utilizes their innovative technology for greater accuracy, administrative efficiency, and compliance with regulatory requirements, such as the new Patient Protection and Affordable Care Acts. KTBS Payroll features management tools, reports, and services that relieve you of the details while giving you better control, ensuring you remain in compliance. Call KTBS today at 888-882-1487 to learn more about their integrated solution for payroll and benefits through KTBS Payroll. Listen up. If you want crabs, you have to head to the Costas Inn on North Point Boulevard. There is no comparison in all of Maryland for the greatest crabs and crab cakes ever. Costas also serves unbelievable steamed shrimp, Greek salads, and steaks for lunch and dinner. Nick, Pete, and Costas Triantopoulos run the perfect restaurant to go with family and friends. Give Costas Inn a call at 410-477-1975 and tell them the Terp Talk guy sent you. Terp Talk is proud to welcome Glen Burnie Transmissions as a new sponsor. Located at 7166 Ritchie Highway in Glen Burnie. For over 50 years, Glen Burnie Transmissions offers free towing from the D.C. area. Transmissions for all imports and domestics. Go to www.gbt-online.com for a quotation or call President Mark Schwartzman at 800-458-2661. That's 800-458-2661, Glen Burnie Transmissions.
Hi, I'm Johnny Holiday. I've seen a lot of great teams over the years, but not as good as the legal team at the Jacklish Law Group. Every single lawyer at the Jacklish Law Group is ranked in the top 1% of personal injury lawyers in the entire country, and we're honored yet again by Super Lawyers magazine. So if you've been injured in a truck, car, or train crash, get that great team working for you. Call the Jacklish Law Group, 301-627-8700. Can't spell Jacklish? Try www.smallfirmbigdogs.com.
Viner Consulting helps you get the most out of your business technology. We develop a technology plan for your business. There is much more than the run-of-the-mill break and fix service you are probably used to getting from your local IT tech. This is a real plan to move you forward, to bring in the latest technology at the best prices, strong support services, and a vision to lay out where you want your company to be down the road. And best of all, the plan is free to your company. Let us come and help you build your future today. Viner Consulting is a proud Microsoft partner, a Lenovo partner, and an HP partner. Conveniently based in Rockville, we service the Baltimore, Washington area. You can reach us at 240-599-0140 or on the web at www.vinerconsulting.com.
Access Title Company, LLC, brings to you experience, relationship, and peace of mind. All great reasons to choose Access Title Company as your residential and commercial real estate settlement company. Choosing a reputable, experienced title company is crucial to a smooth settlement process. Our staff of attorneys and experienced personnel is committed to helping you through the complete process with personal attention, competitive rates, and prompt service. Access Title Company goes anywhere in the state of Maryland to perform your settlement at no additional cost to you. That's why we're Access Title. Please call Melanie, our operations manager, at 410-363-8785 for additional information. That's Access Title Company at 410-363-8785.
This is Logan Ehrenholt, and you're listening to Terp Talk with Bruce Posner.
You're listening to Viner Consulting Terp Talk. Join the conversation at 866-950-5225. Once again, Bruce Posner and Wayne Viner.
Meyer Consulting Engineers is a professional organization specializing in structural engineering, parking consultation, construction materials, testing and inspection, and related professional services for the construction industry. If you're building a commercial or governmental project, contact Meyer Consulting for an in-depth project review. In the past 5 years, Meyer has successfully completed over 1,000 2,000 commissions across the U.S., the Pacific Rim, and the Commonwealth of Independent States. Meyer Consulting Engineers offers a proven superior record for on-time performance and quality, cost-effective engineering design. That's Meyer Consulting. Call them at 301-738-5690. It's 301-738-5690. And Wayne, you just heard Logan Ehrenholt. He would be the kind of guy that Maryland needs right away.
Sure. If you can get a guy who can come in, play some real minutes, and help the team right now for that 1 year on the big stage at Maryland in the Big Ten, that's the guy you want. If it's Ian Childs, then that's fine. If Turgeon can find somebody else, it's a great opportunity. If you come to Maryland now, you're going to get some minutes. Earlier in the show, you mentioned...
Let's get Freddie in real quick. Freddie, are you there?
I am here, gentlemen.
All right, Freddie, I know you got your opinions. Go ahead, Wayne.
Earlier in the show, you mentioned what was quoted in the Baltimore Sun. I just wanted to bring up that is on TerpTalk,
right.
TerpTalk.com. If you want to read the quote, go to our website.
All right, Freddie, so what's your take on the whole situation?
One real quick, Wayne, describe to me the Maryland team picture today.
There's a lot of empty seats there. I also heard, looked it up, that the red-white scrimmage, annual scrimmage, might just be the red scrimmage or the white scrimmage for next year. I'm not sure.
I heard Maryland's going to a 3-3 league next year.
That's good. Yeah, that's some city ball. That's good stuff, Fred.
Freddie, you were never a big fan of Seth Allen, were you?
I think the kid had a lot of athleticism. He improved his shooting from his freshman year to sophomore year, but he only was a 40% shooter from the field and about 38 from the three. So it's not like he was a consistent shooter. If he thinks he's leaving, and there's speculation he didn't want to play the two. His thought that was if he made the NBA at his size, it'd have to be a point guard. I think he's delusional because he's just not a point guard. He doesn't have the feel for the position, and something that he's not going to obtain by playing more. It's just you have it or you don't have it. So individually, the players that have left, to me, are all guys who have come off the bench. It hurts the team depth-wise. We're talking about a team that was one of the most selfish teams in basketball in college last year. I don't feel it's a bad thing that guys individually are leaving, but when you have four guys and potentially five guys plus the number one assistant coach leave the same year on a program where the coach has finished his third year, that's concern. That is a big concern. The fact that the team has not gotten better since Turgeon has taken over. As a matter of fact, I think the program has gone backwards. That's a major concern. What also concerns me, which has nothing to do with Turgeon, other than he has a good agent, is he has an 8-year contract with no buyout, which to me is, I can't have anybody explain to me how a coach who has made one Sweet 16 in his coaching career gets a contract like that. I think the Maryland's in trouble.
Well, you got it. Let's look at it from another viewpoint, okay? And I'm not trying to spin it, but many teams lose 3-4 guys a year, and the guys
they don't lose them.
Let me finish.
Transfer. No, you brought up the Kentucky thing in the last interview. Those guys went to the NBA. That's a big difference in guys transferring someplace else and a mass transfer. You see this like with Edsel, coaches coming in their first year have different philosophy, different personality, and the kids weren't recruited by them, and a lot of them are say, I don't want to play for this guy. But you don't see this after a guy's been established for 3 years at a program.
Well, here's my point. I'm not saying that it's right what happened, and I'm not saying there's not a problem. There is. But the point I'm trying to make is that it's not the first team to have 3 or 4 guys or 5 guys leave after the year because there might be seniors, transfers, whatever. So guys leave. He's got guys coming in. There's no reason in the world with the guys who are still there when you're talking about Lehman and Des Wells, that he can't put together a team that can win with the guys who remain. All right, and the guys who are coming in. If you close your eyes and pretend that these guys all went to the NBA, which is not the case, but he's got 2 glue guys there, and he's got a recruiting class that's a top 10 recruiting class. I believe Mark Turgeon can coach, and I believe that if he can coach, he can put together a team that can win. The problem is he's got to put together a team that's going to stay. And that's what really concerns him.
That's why you can't close your eyes to guys leaving because, for whatever reason, because it's not a reason where they've graduated or they're going to the pros.
Oh, I agree. So does he.
So you can't close your eyes, and the reason you can't close your eyes is now because he hasn't had success here. The team hasn't gotten better. Most of these guys, you expect a decent amount of improvement year to year. You don't see that. So there's no reason to think because he has a recruiting class. Last year's recruiting class was highly ranked. The year before was, the people thought they were good players. It hasn't come to fruition. Any of these kids, any of these classes, there's nothing to say that, well, because these guys are supposedly good, that he can coach them up this year.
Okay, that's a valid point. But what Bruce is saying is if you said you start with Deswells, Lehman, Smotrich, Dodd already on the team, and whoever else I'm leaving off there, and then you add Mello, Trimble, Sikowski, Trayvon Reed, Nickens, and Dion Wiley, hey, that could work. If it doesn't work,
anything could work, but
it could work.
Anything could work. Unfortunately, you're putting a lot of. Look, can Mello Trimble be a superstar? Maybe, maybe not.
Could the Harrisons be superstars?
Well, they may be next year. They weren't this year.
But that's my point. In other words, he's got 9 guys to work with, and I believe he can coach. But we're going to find out because now he's the guys who were unhappy, who didn't want to be there, are gone, and now he's got the guys left who are happy, with exception of Mitchell if he stays or not. But with Lehman and Smotrich and Wells. He's got and DeMonte Dodd. He's got guys who decided to stay, and he's got 5 new guys coming in. It's not much different than a great team faces every year. Calipari.
That's completely wrong. It is a big difference because again, it's not his first year, and after the first year they say, well, I don't like the way this guy is. It's after his third year, and they're not going because they're going pro.
You're missing the point. You're missing the point.
No, I know. I see your point. Because, we have a new batch coming in.
We got 9 guys. We got a nucleus.
Why should anything have changed after 3 years?
We're going to find out. You can't keep losing. I know that. You know that. And he knows that. So you can't keep losing. But he's got a team. He's got guys. He's got the basis of a team. That is certainly Des Wells and Lehman. He's got to improve over last year, but he's got the basis of a team, and there's no reason in the world that this team can't win. There's not like
there's a lot of reasons, and again, you go back to it because he had a team last year and the year before.
Maybe he didn't. Maybe the guys weren't good, like Gary's recruiting class after the championship.
He recruited these kids. So if he recruited these kids and they weren't good, it's either that they weren't good or he was unable to coach them to get them better at the next level. So why to say the next group's going to be any better?
We're going to find out. We don't know.
There's nothing we can do about what happened. So I'm going to choose to focus on the fact that we got 5 starters, we got guys on a bench, and I hope the heck he gets it right this time.
And he needs to get another point guard. He's got to. What happens when Mello Trimble gets in foul trouble?
Des Wells, baby.
Yeah, that's not going to win.
What happens if Mello Trimble doesn't adjust to the next level quickly either?
Then we're in trouble. Then we're in big trouble.
I think we're in trouble.
Okay. I hope not. I hope not. But you know what?
I hope not too. I hope I'm completely wrong. But it's not like he's coached 1 year and you say, gee, it's like Edsel for the first year. Boy, what's going on here? But this is after 3 years, and that's a big difference.
It is a big difference, and.
You're talking about 400 and 450 kids being on the transfer list. There's about 350 Division I schools. So we picked up, we helped that number quite a bit because in most cases it's 1 or 2 kids at the most leaving a school.
That's a lot, though, Freddie. 450 is a lot.
Yeah, but there's 350 schools, Bruce.
Division I schools? No, there's not.
18. Sure, there is.
No, there's not 350.
Basketball.
In basketball, there's 350?
Maybe it's 340, but somewhere around there.
All
right. We got to head to the break. Freddie, thanks a lot for checking in. We'll see you in the next hour. All right. Hey, he's entitled to his opinion, and you can make the point.
Has one.
No, I agree, but was he getting what I was saying? I'm not sure.
I think he agreed with you, but it's just that too much water had gone under the bridge for him to believe it's going to be different right now because it hasn't been any different for 3 years.
All right, let's head out to our second break. This is Bruce Posner. You're listening to Viner Consulting. What's Viner Consulting's phone number, Wayne?
301-251-2900 in Rockville, and you can reach us on the web at makeyourcompanywork.com. This is Wayne Viner and Bruce Posner on 1580 CBS Sports Radio in the nation's capital.
We are pleased to welcome Kelly & Associates Insurance Group to the TerpTalk family. For more than 35 years, Kelly & Associates Insurance Group has been known as the region's premier group insurance administrator, broker, and consultant specializing in healthcare. Kelly is also able to provide your organization with an integrated payroll solution through KTBS Payroll. The leader in benefits is now the leader in payroll too. To learn more about how Kelly and KTBS Payroll can provide your organization with a total benefits solution, contact them today at 800-972-7227. Kelly, one of the most trusted names in benefits, now offers payroll. KTBS Payroll provides a payroll solution that utilizes their innovative technology for greater accuracy, administrative efficiency, and compliance with regulatory requirements, such as the new Patient Protection and Affordable Care Acts. KTBS Payroll features management tools, reports, and services that relieve you of the details while giving you better control, ensuring you remain in compliance. Call KTBS today at 888-882-1487 to learn more about their integrated solution for payroll and benefits through KTBS Payroll. TerpTalk is proud to welcome Glen Burnie Transmissions as a new sponsor. Located at 7166 Ritchie Highway in Glen Burnie. For over 50 years, Glen Burnie Transmissions offers free towing from the D.C. area. Transmissions for all imports and domestics. Go to www.gbt-online.com for a quotation or call President Mark Schwartzman at 800-458-2661. That's 800-458-2661, Glen Burnie Transmissions. The Fellowship of Christian Athletes is touching millions of lives, one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been helping coaches and athletes on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels to fulfill their God-given potential. FCA is the largest Christian sports organization in America and focuses on serving local communities by equipping, empowering, and encouraging people to make a difference. To learn more about the FCA in your area, call Mark Stevens at 301-363-8611 or visit their website, metromdfca.org. Are you looking for great seats? You want to see the Terps play Duke or Carolina? Want Oriole Yankee tickets, NASCAR, Van Halen, you name it. GreatSeats.com has them. Nothing beats having great seats, and you can find them by calling 800-853-SEAT or check out Great Seats ticket inventory at www.greatseats.com. Call 800-853-SEAT. Tell them the Turf Talk guy sent you.
Have you been injured in a car accident, by medical error, while on the job, or because of the fault of another? Are your medical payments and paperwork piling up, or are you out of work and losing wages that you can't afford to lose, all because someone else was negligent? If so, get the representation and individual attention you deserve from the law firm of Grant Posner, 443-388-4777, or go to BeMoreLaw.com for your free consultation.
I'm Grant Posner. I began this firm with the belief that all clients should get the individual attention that they deserve. When you call my office, you deserve to speak directly to an attorney. Call today at 443-388-4777 or visit BeMoreLaw.com and schedule your free consultation with an attorney today. Get the individual attention and experience you deserve for all of your injury, traffic, or criminal legal needs. And don't forget, for personal injury cases, there are no legal fees or expenses unless we win. Call today, 443-388-4777 or BeMoreLaw.com.
This is head women's lacrosse coach Kathy Reese, and you're listening to Terp Talk with Bruce Posner.
You're listening to Viner Consulting Terp Talk. Join the conversation at 866-950-5225. Once again, Bruce Posner and Wayne Viner.
All right, let's celebrate the women's ACC title. Their 6th in a row. A great win, 13-7. And let me see, post game we had a chance to talk to Taylor Cummings. All right, but in my opinion, someone who should win the Tewaaraton Award, but we'll see what happens with that.
Taylor, you guys were able to, from the onset, just as you've done in every single game, control the tempo early. Was that emphasis in the scouting report today?
Yeah, Syracuse is a great team, and we know that they like to push the fast break and really possess it. So all started with the draw, and I think we all did a great job of coming off the 30s, and Aaron and Beth did an amazing job on the circle. And once we got the draw, I think we were able to kind of play our way and play our tempo. And we all did a fabulous job on that, and I think that was really what helped us win.
Focus and the composure and the chippiness out in the field. Sometimes the defense also goes untouted for you guys. How much was the defense a spur to the attack this afternoon?
Oh, we've worked on our defense for the past couple of weeks, and we've just gotten so much better as a unit. And I think today we proved exactly what Maryland defense was, and we were there. We helped each other out. We really, stood next to each other and didn't let our team down. And I think our defense sparks our offense all the time. So once we made a big stop on defense and Abby made a great save, we were able to run it down and play our way on the offensive end.
Well, Taylor, the movement of this team from youth to veterans, it's kind of expected as you put on a Terp uniform. There wasn't a hitch this year, and maybe even a stronger unit from a year ago?
Every year is different, and last year we had a great team, but this year we have an amazing team too, and I think we're just all such good friends off the field that on the field it kind of makes us work even better.
Kathy Reese did something great in that game, Wayne. Gary Gate, her former mentor, her former coach, knew that Maryland's talent supersedes Syracuse's, which is who they played. And he went the route of being extremely physical. They were really roughing up Maryland. And Kathy, before the game, told her girls, you must keep your composure. Don't get rattled. Don't let them rattle you and get penalties. And we talked to, I didn't talk to Kathy. This is from ACC Sports. Talked to Kathy after the game.
Game, and we wanted to step out and just remember that we're out here to play Maryland lacrosse in our style, and we can't let anything else faze us or bother us. And they did that. They came together. They played well together. They executed on offense. They helped each other out on defense, and we're getting to celebrate this moment right now.
Celebrate the moment, and we would be remiss without saying that the legacy that Maryland lacrosse is leaving in the ACC will be very hard to pass in the future.
Well, it's definitely an emotional game, and it's emotional for me. This has been everything I've known, so this is quite an exciting game amongst my team. Just going to really enjoy this.
Kathy, enjoy it with your team.
How would you rate Kathy Reese as a coach? How many pluses past the A?
I'm not sure. You picked her as one of the greatest coaches in Maryland history. That's 6 consecutive ACC championships, win the regular season, right? You win the tournament.
The tournament, right.
6 tournament championships. Last year got to the championship game, NCAA title, and lost in overtime.
They've been to 4 championship games. They've won 1, lost 3.
And this year the championship is where? Right. So just one of the greatest coaches. Unfortunately, all the great coaches at the moment are maybe tending towards the non-revenue side. You got Brenda,
Sasho, Tillman.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that's the way it goes.
The field hockey is
Missy Mahog. All right, let's talk about men's lacrosse right now. And we're not going to go into the Notre Dame game. We did enough about that last week. It's old news. Maryland plays Navy today, significance of which Maryland needs to win this game to secure a home field advantage. And believe it or not, Wayne, the speculation as to who Maryland's going to play could be Albany with the Thompson brothers, Thompson family, and nobody wants to play. And it could be, believe it or not, Johns Hopkins.
Oh, Hopkins would be a great game, but good That's a
pretty
early.
tough. That's a tough first round game.
So Maryland ranked 7 or 8 in the national polls.
Yeah, but just if they lost this game, it would be losing. And I'm not saying that. I mean, Navy's 4-9, but Navy also took Loyola to overtime. Loyola was lucky to win. Charlie Toomey be the first one to say it. Navy hit 2 posts, 2 pipes in the first overtime. And then Johns Hopkins got away with a 6-5 win over there at Naval Academy. So Maryland, they got their work cut out today. Navy's got a great face-off guy. Of course, they all fall to Charlie Rafa, but who knows what will happen today.
Well, Maryland, just for me, to see the spark back in the offense would be huge. I don't want another 9-7 type game. I want to get back into the teens with the scoring. And you got one more chance here before the NCAA tournament kicks off. So
Selection Sunday is Sunday.
So that's tomorrow is Sunday.
Right. And fortunately, Maryland will be in this Selection Sunday. All right.
Well, unlike the men's basketball, we'll be in Selection Sunday. I'd love to see a home game against Hopkins just because it'd be a really
retribution.
Exciting. Thompson twins got some mention on Twitter. I forgot who they play this weekend, but they said the news is if you want to see some exciting offensive lacrosse, you got to go and watch these guys.
The one team I don't want to play is Cornell because I can't stand listening to that music again. All right? Give my regards to Broadway.
Yeah, with Pennell and some of the other guys they had for Cornell last year, boy, we gave up a lot of goals there in the NCAA tournament game. I think it's very important for Maryland to keep things going. You said maybe they're a year or two away, that when the current freshman class turns to juniors, that's our time. But with Chan and Chuck and some of the guys we have on defense and with Nico in goal, I'm really hoping the offense catches up and that the young guys have learned something from losing some of these big games for the past few weeks, and we can get it turned around now. As you say, the future's always now. What you do 2 years from now could be great, but the chance to win in College Park is right now.
Yeah, well, fortunately, you don't have this kind of transferitis that you have in some of the other sports, mainly because it's probably non-revenue, but you have a little bit of it in lacrosse, but not much. But you've been out there, post-game for Maryland, and you see the camaraderie, the unity, the way that team is a team. I mean, it smells of a team. And I truly believe that Etzel's got the same thing going on with the football team.
I'm very impressed.
I don't see guys leaving. I don't see, guys carping or, Diggs was out for a year and Deion Long was out. And you don't hear any, these guys are looking forward to getting back. Right. So I think Randy's got a great handle on that situation after the first year losing so many guys.
Well, in the post-spring game, hey, this could really be something on the offense. If anybody should have transfer issues, it should be Maryland football. You got 4 tailbacks, all who want to play. You've got 7 wide receivers who all want to play. You've got multiple rush ends now and defensive backs who all believe they should get on the field. And with the football team, they've made it into a team where they're all rooting for each other. Nobody's talking about leaving just because you're the 7th wide receiver out of a group that headlines Stephon Diggs, Deion Long, and you get into Malcolm Culmer and Tavon
Marcus
League. There's more names than we can jump to right off, and those guys are all sticking together. So
You're like me. I'm really looking forward to football because everybody talks about. I was listening. By the way, everybody, the Big Ten Network, do not think that they don't talk about Maryland. Maryland is discussed every day. You could turn on that network at any moment, and they're going to be talking about Maryland. So if you want to, I don't want to say they're taking a little thunder from us, but it's something to watch.
Big Ten Network's got it going on, but here's my trivia question for today. Who's the number 1 wide receiver is rated by the Big Ten Network in the league?
Stephon Diggs.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, who's fooled? I'm not fooled. It's clear he's the best receiver in the Big Ten.
I would think that Deion Long would be in the top 10. So we've got the offensive firepower to compete in this league, and with what we're bringing in on the offensive line, I'm ready for the season to start right now.
Yeah, well, you know what? Also, there's always a lot of speculation and controversy about C.J. Brown, who you and me are both so fond of. But I have to tell you something. The Big Ten is not overwhelming with the great quarterbacks. It's not like every team has a great quarterback. Where are the great quarterbacks in the Big Ten?
They're not there
Russell
now.
Wilson left. He didn't come from the Big Ten. He was an ACC guy.
I mean, the Big Ten's had some great guys. You got Brady. You got Bob Greasy.
But I'm saying now, recently.
Today. Yeah, no. There's not a whole lot out there. You got Ohio State, and everybody else seems to have questions.
Yeah, they do, and I think that it's we're
I have an Ohio State girl on the other side of the glass here wearing a Celtics. You're just all wrong for this area, Tish. But we'll talk Big Ten and Ohio State with Tish next week.
Well, she'll tell you about Ohio State.
Right.
But
I just got to find the mute button.
Yeah. Ohio State is coming in on October
4th, and it's not an 8 o'clock game.
What time's the game?
They don't have a game time. It's not 8 o'clock. They put out the primetime schedule. Maryland plays Michigan State the second Saturday in November at 8 o'clock.
At Michigan State.
Here.
Or here.
Here.
Oh, that's good.
So that's our big night game. And as far as Maryland football season tickets, according to reports, they're happy. Their sales are up. In fact, the sales are going so well that if you have exceeded your Terrapin Club allotment, they're restricting ticket sales to any one individual at this point. So I hope it's working great for Maryland athletics there.
Well, I hope they're not restricting tickets for season ticket holders that have been around for 20 or 30 years to sell 2 tickets to somebody from Ohio State. That wouldn't make much sense, would it?
No, it wouldn't, but I've heard that could be going on. But we'll see if they sell all the tickets. I'm sure they'll come back to their loyal fan
Sure,
base.
when they can't get rid of them, they'll come back, okay?
Absolutely.
That being said, you and me are certainly at our maximums. We bought all the tickets we can.
Right. We're not talking about us. We're just talking in general. But we have... What, you have 6?
8.
You have 8. I have 6 season tickets for this upcoming season, and I'm really looking forward.
You had 4, right?
I had 4.
Are your other ones next to the other one? Yours?
Sort of in front of and back of, so it's 4 in a row and then 2 right behind them.
Well, that's fine. That's exactly what I wound up with, 6 and 2. But tickets are available, and they're so cheap. But I'm not selling tickets. I mean, they sell themselves. What's the season? $275 for a season ticket? Is that what it is?
Somewhere around there.
It's ridiculous. Yeah. It really is. I mean, it's barely.
I think it's going to go up because all these tickets are going to get sold. The Big Ten's going to come rolling to town, and everybody's going to want to go to Washington, D.C. and see Maryland play whoever their team is.
You think a few might want to stay in Baltimore?
Maybe.
All right. Hey, I noticed the Nationals won last night after Strasburg gave up a 3-run homer in the first.
And also, the Phillies made an error, let the Nats back in the game.
How can we not talk about the Wizards, man? Jeez, whiz.
Yeah, okay. Jeez, whiz. We got 2 minutes to go.
The Wiz, what a great run. What a great team that Ernie Grunfeld has put together. And listen, for those of you skeptics out there, don't be a skeptic. We don't know the sky's the limit for this team. And I don't mean next year. I mean now. They can beat Indiana. They can beat Atlanta. And I want to tell you something. Don't think they don't have a fighter's chance against Miami. Everybody says, well, that'll be it when they play Miami. I want to tell you, when you got 2 guards like Beal and John Wall, and then you look at the bigs, and the bigs, Miami would trade for our bigs in 2 seconds.
Oh, absolutely, if they had anything to trade.
Right. I mean, Miami, they don't have Gortat, they don't have Nene, they don't have muscle guys like this.
They don't even have Trevor Booker right now.
Right. I mean, we're going to dominate the boards against this team. And, LeBron's LeBron. There's nothing you can do about him. Right. He's the greatest.
But if he gets 40 and 15 rebounds, that's only 40 points and 15 rebounds. It's everybody else who got an advantage.
No, I like the Wizards' chances. Look, it's going to be tough, but don't think they don't have a chance.
So the Hawks and the Pacers have a Game 7 coming up on Sunday, which means the
first game will probably be, Tuesday or Wednesday?
Yeah, probably go Tuesday, Thursday at home. And then if Atlanta wins, the Wizards get the first 2 games at home. If the Pacers
I think it's
win,
big. I'm really rooting for Atlanta. Atlanta has no chance against the Wizards. I mean, none.
Hey, if you're talking between those two, Indiana's on the downside. Even if they win this series, they're coming down. Atlanta, you'd think, is blazing hot if they win. I'd rather actually take the one that's a little cool. I think the Pacers.
I want home court advantage. I think home court advantage is perfect. All right,
well,
we're out of time. We're done. We'll see you next Saturday on Viner Consulting Terp Talk. Kelly, one of the most trusted names in benefits, now offers payroll. KTBS Payroll provides a payroll solution that utilizes their innovative technology for greater accuracy, administrative efficiency, and compliance with regulatory requirements, such as the new Patient Protection and Affordable Care Acts. KTBS Payroll features management tools, reports, and services that relieve you of the details while giving you better control, ensuring you remain in compliance. Call KTBS today at 888-882-1487 to learn more about their integrated solution for payroll and benefits through KTBS Payroll. A fellowship of Christian athletes is touching millions of lives, one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been helping coaches and athletes on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels to fulfill their God-given potential. FCA is the largest Christian sports organization in America and focuses on serving local communities by equipping, empowering, and encouraging people to make a difference. To learn more about the FCA in your area, call Mark Stevens at 301-363-8611 or visit their website, metromdfca.org. Atman's Delicatessen has finally expanded into the Potomac area. Created originally in Baltimore in 1915, it's been a long time, but the best deli in the nation has come to the Washington area. Everyone is ecstatic that now you can find Atman's Deli at Tuckerman Lane in the Cabin John Shopping Center. Mark Atman, a tremendous Terp fan, brings his tremendous talents to the Washington area when it comes to delicatessen. Open from 8 to 8 for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Atman's features its corned beef and pastrami, but certainly has all the great deli food available. Call 301-765-3354 for catering or to order ahead. That's Atman's Deli, 301-765-3354 in the Cabin John Shopping Center. Viner Consulting helps you get the most out of your business technology. We develop a technology plan for your business. There is much more than the run-of-the-mill break and fix service you are probably used to getting from your local IT tech. This is a wheel plan to move you forward, to bring in the latest technology at the best prices, strong support services, and a vision to lay out where you want your company to be down the road. And best of all, the plan is free to your company. Let us come and help you build your future today. Viner Consulting is a proud Microsoft partner, a Lenovo partner, and an HP partner. Conveniently based in Rockville, we service the Baltimore, Washington area. You can reach us at 240-599-0140 or on the web at www.vinerconsulting.com.
Access Title Company, LLC, brings to you experience, relationship, and peace of mind. All great reasons to choose Access Title Company as your residential and commercial real estate settlement company. Choosing a reputable, experienced title company is crucial to a smooth settlement process. Our staff of attorneys and experienced personnel is committed to helping you through the complete process with personal attention, competitive rates, and prompt service. Access Title Company goes anywhere in the state of Maryland to perform your settlement at no additional cost to you. That's why we're Access Title. Please call Melanie, our operations manager, at 410-363-8785 for additional information. That's Access Title Company at 410-363-8785.
Have you been injured in a car accident by medical error while on the job or because of the fault of another? Are your medical payments and paperwork piling up, or are you out of work and losing wages that you can't afford to lose all because someone else was negligent? If so, get the representation and individual attention you deserve from the law firm of Grant Posner, 443-388-4777, or go to BeMoreLaw.com for your free consultation.
I'm Grant Posner. I began this firm with the belief that all clients should get the individual attention that they deserve. When you call my office, you deserve to speak directly to an attorney. Call today at 443-388-4777 or visit bemorelaw.com and schedule your free consultation with an attorney today. Get the individual attention and experience you deserve for all of your injury, traffic, or criminal legal needs. And don't forget, for personal injury cases, there are no legal fees or expenses unless we win. Call today, 443-388-4777 or bemorelaw.com.
The opinions expressed in the preceding paid program do not necessarily represent those of WJZ AM 1300, CBS Radio, its employees and sponsors.